Welcome back to my channel. This time not with me, but with Lukas Prinz, a former very good player who is now pretty average, but he managed to get 17th place at the latest RBET in Vienna, playing a rogue deck that nobody really likes. And what was it?
It was instant teleport zombies.
Bless you. All right. Do you want to show us the list you played?
Sure.
Yeah, amazing.
So first of all, the most important card in the deck, the 3 cards. Unfortunately, ultra rare ones. I still need to win an RBET to play ultimates, because I'm not gonna buy those on market or somewhere else. And this is the most important card in the deck, probably. As Kais is just a broken card in the Edison format in general, and this deck needs 3 of them if you don't play the hero version. So yeah. Then for the
one question before you continue. What really is said about your zombie deck when Chaos is the best card in it?
That the
zombie cards suck. Okay, please continue.
The deck is not a tier 1 deck. So for the zombie package, 2 goblin zombies, this is probably a card that you wanna have, always wanna have. This is why I'm playing 3 turtles and one of the 2 cards in the main deck that I'm kinda iffy about, 1 tomato. It was good in Vienna. I'm debating if this could be another card, maybe a 3rd instant fusion, but I like the card, so I played it and it was good over the weekend. And then just the one of zombies, Mizuki, Zombie Master, Spirit Reaper, and Plague Spreader. Then there's a debate if Diva or Teleport is better. I prefer the Teleport package, the big one, with 2 Krabans. Because these guys alone actually give you field presence, which Diva doesn't do. So against Blackwings or GBs, these are the only monsters that you can actually summon turn 1 and where they need to invest some sort of removal to get rid of them. And then there's the 2, I consider them Bombs, Gores, and Dark Arm. There's no Gale in here because I just dislike the card. That's never felt good in testing. And Sangan pretty much always searches Goblin Zombies, so I was like, just play the tomato instead. Then for the spells, 3 Book of Life. This card is what wins you the Vayu matchup, which is very good against Lightsworn as well.
I hate this card.
Obviously. And 2 instant fusions. I've switched a lot between 2 and 3. In the end, I decided on 2 because if you play 3, you need a second good target in the extra deck because you're gonna draw 2 instant fusions in about a third of your games. And even if you then activate the second instant fusion for Musician King and an Arcanite Magician, it doesn't feel as good as the first one, so I'd rather have it less in there and then not draw it in multiples. And then there's just the good spells, Brain Control, Mind Control, Allure, Heavy Storm, and MST. For the traps,
back row.
For the back row, I decided to run a pretty big package with 2 prisons, 2 bottomless, torrential, Force and torrential. Overall, I always felt safest when I start with a recruiter and some sort of protection trap, so this was kind of what I landed on. Then to force plays through, there's the obvious Solemn Judgment. I don't get why people are debating if this card is needed or not. This is a combo deck. If you go for a big push, you need this card. And 2 trap stuns. This was probably MVP of the weekend. This card was amazing. I'd love to play 3, but I don't think I have the space for it. And then there's also the matchups where Trap Stun is not as good, so it has its applications even against like Hero Frogs and Forks, where you can sometimes Trap Stun a Reckless. But there's overall too many matchups where playing 4 sweepers is probably too much. And then there's just game-winning card and game-winning card number 2. I am not quite sure in return. It won me a few games, but it was also dead a few times, so I'm thinking about testing some matches without it, or like testing when I draw it if it was another card, if the match would play out the same. This was also the reason why I lost one of my matches, because I really miscalculated in one of my games. So I made a big return play and then in the end was not able to kill the guy. Yeah, that was one of my losses.
Sounds pretty deserved.
Yeah, that loss was pretty much deserved. The other one, there was nothing I could do, I think, but the one loss was definitely deserved because I always say there's one, you can lose a game because you can't do anything, and then you can lose another game because you make misplays, but if you do that, you're at the mercy of tiebreakers, and yeah.
Sometimes that backfires.
Yeah, sometimes that backfires and you get 17th.
All right. Side or extra?
Let's do extra deck first.
Sure.
So first of all, there's 2 instant targets. This is the most important instant target. This is just a secondary. If you play Diva, Darkfire Dragon is probably better to get to the darks. But now there's people who side Consecrate the Light against you, and with this you can still make Black Rose with Teleport or the Psy Commander. So yeah, if you need the dark, then play Darkfire. If you don't, like with the Teleport, play this one. Never summon this. It's the only way that I can do it actually is with Spirit Reaper. This is your important combo. You always want to get your opponent to 51 life points so these 2 can go for game. I thought this would be a very good card, but for some reason I didn't summon it once over the weekend.
But it is pretty beautiful.
Yeah, it is a beautiful ultimate rare, and it's also it's a staple. There's no debating this. What you could debate is this guy, because I also didn't summon him, but I also didn't play Lightsworn and only one Bayou, so there weren't many opportunities to summon this guy. Never summoned this. Rarely summoned Black Rose for some reason, even though it's the reason why you play Instant Fusion. I think I summoned Life Transfer more often than Black Rose. It did keep me alive in one game, and also it was like the go-to body when you didn't want to use the Black Rose and not use the other level 7, which is Urbalum, which I also didn't summon. And then there's level 8.
It's also like it modulates your graveyard for that, right?
Yeah. It has come up in testing where I banished 2 Krebons over 2 turns, and then was able to summon Dark Arms.
Crazy.
And sometimes you actually need the life points. So yeah, this shield's pretty important. And then there's the level 8 Dark, and summon this guy pretty often. I think I summoned the Colossal once. This this didn't come up, but it's in theory very good against GBs when bottomless trap holes are out. Yeah, that's the extra deck. Overall, there's a lot of stuff that I just didn't summon once for some reason. So basically, the only relevant cards were these. Didn't get used.
You hear that, future Edison players play like 8 extra deck cards.
Yeah. Anyway, these came up in testing, all of them, so still important, but yeah. Let's see if I can ever change anything about the extra deck in the future. And then there's the side deck. I'm going to separate these more by how I board and not by monster spells and traps. So I really was scared of Gigavice and Forks, so I decided to side 3 Crows. I learned over the weekend that this isn't actually that good against Gigavice, and that Forks has a conversion side where this doesn't hurt them as much, but I guess you never stop learning. But I'd still side these because they also come up against, like, if you play against dragons, they're important, they're good against Vayus, and if you decide to go with 2, you might as well get the 3rd for the degenerate decks. Then there's the DDV package. I usually side out 1 Krebons, Tomato, and Turtle against DDV decks, and put in some combination of these. Breaker pretty much always goes in, and then against Blackwings it's a Silent, against Vayu it's Kaiku.
Or against Gladiator Beast?
Yeah, against Gladiator Beast I also sided these guys because they were big beat sticks, and this guy actually won me game 2 because I managed to banish Bestiary with him. Then there's I'd call this the Degenerate package. So against Degenerate decks, I side Vanity's Fiend and Skill Drain. This was the reason I did beat my first Fork opponent. He just didn't have an auto Vanity's Fiend in the 3rd game. And then there's just a bit of spot removal for Titanial and Machina Fortress. This is also good against Gladiator Beast, you just want to remove the monsters. Also against anything that plays back row, there's 2 Dust Tornadoes, and the 15th card, which I'm not quite sure about, is Vortex. This was a last-minute decision, and this is one of the spots that I potentially change along with the DD Asylum, because I feel like Sirocco might be better against Black Wings, but this also has other applications, so I'm gonna have to keep testing this.
All right, thank you very much for the deck list. Do you have any shoutouts left?
Yeah, I do have a few shoutouts actually. First of all, big shoutouts to Keegan for making this event possible. This event lit a fire in me that I haven't felt for Yu-Gi-Oh! In like 10-15 years.
Cute.
Also shoutouts to the guys that have been playing Zombie in America for a while now, Fitz and Sabo mainly, because much of this deck is inspired by them. And also shoutouts to the worst rapper in Germany, Koniko.
All right, thank you very much. Have a great day and see you. Like and subscribe.